This will sound very strange, but an emergency evacuation due to a tsunami alert on December 2nd, 2023, on the island of Okinawa, which rhymes with Obama, as does ENOLA, the name of the bomber plane that departed Okinawa and dropped the first atomic bomb on Japan, as well as a prophetic sign on the same day, on December 2nd, 2023, involving people being trapped in their planes next to the first Nazi concentration camp, on the same day as the evacuation on Okinawa, where ENOLA departed from and dropped the first atomic bomb, are prophetic signs from the righteous Christian God of the Bible that are predicting that a dirty bomb or suitcase nuke will explode in Manhattan, New York City on December 16th, 2024. And out of the ashes will rise the Antichrist, Obama, who will lock people in concentration camps in America and lead a genocide. The date that this video was posted proves that this prediction is being made ahead of time, as does this time-stamped email and forensic notes PDF document. If you are skeptical for some reason, please email me and I will forward these to you. If you have already watched this introductory information, you can skip ahead no more than 10 minutes. Hello, welcome. It is predicted that President Trump will die from a heart attack on December 12th, 2024. It is also predicted that Trump's heart attack will be triggered by a directed energy weapon that will target Trump through Bluetooth technology. The components inside the pointy thing that Trump took will facilitate this, and it is believed that when Trump visited Biden at the White House, Trump's Bluetooth MAC address was obtained, which will be used to target Trump with a directed energy weapon. I am predicting that Vice President Kamala Harris will die in a plane crash in St. Louis due to a bird strike into Busch Stadium. In the area code 314, it will be a burning bush, as described in Exodus 3:14. On December 24th, 2024, she will be replaced by Michelle Obama, and then Barack Obama will replace Michelle. I am predicting that dirty bombs will explode in Manhattan, New York City, and there will be a large-scale evacuation on December 16th. And on December 17th, martial law will be declared in the U.S. I am predicting that Israel will bomb Iran on December 17th. Israel will nuke and completely destroy Damascus, Syria on December 26th, 2024. On December 17th, 2024, it is predicted that the state legislatures in the swing states that are controlled by the Democrat Party will have their electors vote for Harris instead of Trump after his death. On this same day, December 17th, it is predicted that Joe Biden will become the first world leader to use an intercontinental ballistic missile in an act of war, and he will launch a ballistic missile into Iran. This will follow the predicted dirty bombs in New York City on December 16th, and the rocket into Iran will be a wag the dog event designed to distract from the electors in the swing states voting to make Kamala Harris the president-elect. It is predicted that on December 25th, Joe Biden will suffer a stroke. After Kamala Harris's predicted plane crash on December 24th and Joe Biden's predicted stroke on December 25th, it is predicted that on December 26th, Joe Biden will appoint Michelle Obama as the vice president, and then Biden will step down. Michelle Obama will appoint Barack Obama as the 51st vice president. On January 12th, 2025, Michelle Obama will step down, and Barack Obama will become the 48th president. His public inauguration ceremony will be on January 20th, 2025. I am predicting that former President Jimmy Carter will die on January 28th. It is predicted that on April 20th, 2025, there will be an outbreak of monkeypox or Marburg disease or both. April 20th will be a symbolic beginning to a new pandemic. Alternatively, it could also be that the symbolic beginning to the new pandemic will be on April 1st, 2025, and that on April 20th, 2025, martial law will be declared because of the new outbreak. June 8th, 2025, the true Feast of Pentecost in the calendar that watches for new moons, will be the day of the resurrection rapture event. It is predicted that on June 9th, the day after the rapture, the key will open the bottomless pit and fallen angels will cross over into the earthly realm. June 9th will be a symbolic beginning to the fifth trumpet judgment that is described in Revelation chapter 9, when the demonic realm collides with the earthly realm. June 9th will be a symbolic beginning to demons pretending to be aliens, and it is possible that June 9th will be the day Pope Francis will announce that aliens have arrived and have made him the ambassador for the world. This will immediately give Pope Francis, the Antichrist, supreme power over governments of the world. At some point, there will be a massive Mary apparition that will deceive the masses, because all Mary apparitions in history have been demons pretending to be Mary. June 9th will be a symbolic beginning to a zombie pandemic and the masses becoming demonically possessed that will be facilitated through the thing, which is the mark of the Antichrist, and 5G frequencies. June 9th will be a symbolic beginning to the coming genocide politicide in America. I am predicting that singer-songwriter Paul Simon will die on August 1st, 2025. It is predicted that on August 6th, 2025, the historic barge that has been stuck on the rocks of the Niagara River for over 100 years will finally break free and crash over Niagara Falls. The reason for this is that Niagara Falls is Noah's flood symbolism, and the barge was involved in the most dramatic rescue in the history of Niagara Falls, symbolic of Noah's Ark. Niagara in the native language means straight, narrow way, and Niagara's Horseshoe Falls is perfectly aimed at the CN Tower in downtown Toronto, because Toronto and its tower are symbolic of the Tower of Babel. In a game of horseshoes, the object is to aim the horseshoe and throw it at the metal stick, which is why the Horseshoe Falls is perfectly aimed at the metal stick that is the CN Tower. God is communicating that as testament for those who will live in the 1,000 years of Christ's reign on earth, the geography of North America will, as a result of a massive earthquake, be divided by a body of water from the Great Lakes to the Mississippi Delta. This destruction will be judgment on America and Canada for attempting to divide God's land, Israel. When this happens, the water in the Great Lakes will spill out over southern Ontario and Toronto. I am predicting that a solar flare will erupt on the surface of the sun and send a coronal mass ejection that will hit Earth on August 13th, 2025, which will knock out America's power grid and will lead to food shortages. The hit of the coronal mass ejection, predicted for August 13th, that will knock out the power grid will also knock many planes out of the sky. I am predicting that on August 23rd, 2025, there will be a catastrophic asteroid hit of Earth, which will trigger the eruption of Yellowstone volcano and will cause the volcano in the Canary Islands to collapse into the Atlantic Ocean and send a mega tsunami towards the East Coast. The asteroid will also trigger a mega landslide on Hawaii Island that will trigger a mega tsunami that will hit the West Coast. It will also trigger the collapse of the Hoover Dam, which will cause a water panic in California, and many other devastating earthquakes. The day of the Lord, the second coming of Lord Jesus Christ, Judgment Day, will be at the end of 2026. The date that this video is posted proves that these predictions are being made ahead of time, as do these time-stamped emails and forensic notes PDF documents. If you are skeptical for some reason, please email me and I will forward these to you. Believe me, I know far better than you how the prediction made in this video was derived, and more importantly, I know far better than you why the righteous Christian God of the Bible has given me a voice through this prediction. If you are a quote-unquote Christian or Muslim, this prediction was not learned through a demon. Be warned that blaspheming the Holy Spirit is the unforgivable sin. If you are a New Ager or New Spirituality person, this prediction was not learned through somehow tapping into the supposed universal collective consciousness. If you are a conspiracy theorist, this prediction was not learned through figuring out a supposed code that the Illuminati and Satanists are using. This prediction was learned through the Bible and through watching carefully the Lord's prophetic signs, which Jesus commanded all Christians to do. Besides proving that Jesus Christ is the Lord, the reason why God has given me a voice through this prediction is to prove that the controversial things that I am saying in the videos on this channel are the truth. Therefore, a wise person will want to watch all of the videos on this channel. What I will also do is create a video or two that summarizes some of the controversial things that the Lord will prove to be true when the prediction being made in this video comes to pass. I will leave links to these must-watch videos in the description box below this video. Again, the purpose of this prediction, that is from God, is to prove these things that I will talk about. And therefore, it would be foolish to not watch the videos that I will leave links for in the description box below this video. Make a note right now of these alternative platforms that you can find me on, in case you can't find me later. If you have already watched this introductory information in another video that is about the prediction for the dirty bombs in New York City on December 16th, then you can skip ahead 20 minutes. Do not skip ahead if you have watched similar introductory information in a video about Harris's predicted plane crash or any other prediction. This introductory information is different for each prediction, and the differences in the information is essential for each prediction. God's true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections is only being explained on this channel. The full intended meaning of God's prophetic signs cannot be properly understood without their context and connections to other prophetic signs. God's big picture of signs is an interconnected web. It is through these connections between related prophetic signs that God is telling very important stories that are revealing very important knowledge. For example, it is through God's big picture of signs, patterns, and connections that he is revealing the way in which Barack Obama will become the president again, which is through the death of Vice President Kamala Harris in a plane crash. For many years, God has been painting this particular picture through his prophetic signs, And along the way, he has been developing numerous trails of connected signs that are leading to the precise date that Harris is predicted to die in a plane crash. Here is a diagram that illustrates one such example among countless examples. As we can see here, God has demonstrated a number of trails of signs that led to August 24th, 2023. It was known ahead of time that there would be a prophetic sign related to the death of Kamala Harris in a plane crash on August 24th. And then on this day, Vladimir Putin was the first public official to confirm that the Russian general and leader of the Wagner Group that attempted a coup of Vladimir Putin died in a plane crash, which hints at the soft coup that has been unfolding in America in recent years. In retrospect, it could have been easily predicted that the Russian general of the Wagner Group would die in a plane crash on August 24th because it was known that August 24th is 54 days before October 17th, which was another date God was pointing to ahead of time. This is why on August 24th, Trump, God's trumpet, had in 5 months been arrested for the 4th time in the 4th state. It also hinted at the number 54. God has been using in his signs the theme of the 54th Massachusetts Regiment, the first black regiment to fight in the Civil War, who were known for fighting valiantly at Fort Wagner. This is why, in retrospect, it could have been predicted that the leader of the Wagner Group, the Russian general who attempted a coup, could have been predicted ahead of time to be on August 24th, 54 days before October 17th, 2023. As we can see in this diagram, the trail of signs continues on from August 24th to the date it is predicted that Kamala Harris will die in a plane crash on February 24th. This is how God's true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections works. And this theme of the 54th Massachusetts Regiment is an example of a story that God is telling that is extremely important. Actually, February 24th ended up being another step in the trail of signs regarding the prediction for Kamala Harris's death in a plane crash that is leading to December 24th. The date 224 hints at 2 times 24 and hints at G2424 in Strong's Greek Bible Concordance, which is the Greek word for the name Jesus. Greek letters are also numbers, and the numeric value of the name Jesus in Greek is equal to 888. The number 24 is 8 plus 8 plus 8. The other prophetic signs on February 24th also revealed the number 8. This includes the S&P 500 stock market index's close for the weekend at 5,088.80. The stock market closed at 5,088.80 points because the most central prophecy in the Bible describes a period of time between the decree to rebuild Jerusalem and Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem in his first coming. From the text of the prophecy, it is straightforward that this period of time is 5,888 moon cycles, which means that the year of Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem in his first coming was a year in which there was an extra month of Adar in the Hebrew calendar. The year 30, 31, and 33 AD did not have an extra month of Adar. This is one clear reason for how it is indisputable that the year of Jesus' triumphal entry and his death and resurrection was in 32 AD. This prophetic stock market sign also proves this. And the Boston Celtics basketball team's 8th win in a row, giving them an 8-game lead over the next team, and the dangerous basketball court storming incident after the 8th ranked Blue Devils college basketball team lost to the Deacon Demons in an upset. Also on February 24th, Trump won the primary for the 8th state to join the Union when he beat the former governor of the 8th state. Trump campaigned in the capital of the 8th state on the day of Harris's third visit to the 8th state this year, which hinted at 3 8s and 888. The name Trump in Simple English Gematria is equal to 88. Donald J. Trump in English Gematria is equal to 888. The S&P 500 stock market index close at 5,088.80 on February 24th hinted at adding 5 times 8 days from February 24th to reach April 4th. 5 times 8 days after the stock market was closed at 5,088.80 points was the date 4/4, April 4th. The Antichrist is the 44th president and also the basketball president who wore jersey number 23 in high school. It is predicted that the 44th president will become the president again after the death of Kamala Harris in a plane crash, and the date 4/4 in 2024 was exactly 2 times 3 years, which hints at the number 23. After the crash of the Thunderbirds jet that was number 4 in its squad on the date 4/4 in 2018. Thunderbirds jets are F-16s, which hints at 4 times 4. This Thunderbirds jet crashed in the 36th state, and the number 36 hints at 666, the number of the Antichrist in Bible prophecy. Alaska is the 49th state to join the Union. The 49th vice president is predicted to die in a plane crash, which will lead to the return of the 44th president to the White House. And on the date 4/4, Alaska Airlines announced that it had received $4 times $4 million from Boeing for the door that blew out of its plane in January. This announcement regarding $4 times $4 million on the date 4/4 was exactly 4 times 4 days before 2 Japanese military helicopters collided and crashed. 4 + 4 Japanese military crew died in the crash. In God's signs, helicopter blades are symbolic of the letter X, which is symbolic of the mark of the Antichrist that is described in Bible prophecy. Also, the mark of the Antichrist changes a person's chromosomes, which is symbolized by an X. An X helicopter blade hints at 4 points, and 2 helicopter blades hints at 4 and 4. The 2 helicopters and their blades that hinted at 4 and 4 crashed and killed 4 + 4 people 4 times 4 days after the date 4/4 and the announcement regarding $4 times $4 million. The reason why God is using Japan in his signs is that the land of the rising sun, with a sun on its flag, is symbolism for the coming catastrophic solar flare that will knock out America's power grid, and Japan is symbolism for nuclear bombs. Also on the date 4/4 in 2024, demolition of the Uranus building in Taiwan began. Images of the Uranus building that was leaning on a 25-degree angle after the strongest earthquake in Taiwan in 25 years became emblematic of the destruction in Taiwan. In other words, the Uranus building came to symbolize the Taiwan earthquake. Uranium is used in the production of nuclear bombs, and uranium was named a couple of years after the discovery in 1781 of the planet Uranus. The name for uranium was inspired by the discovery of the planet Uranus. In God's signs, Uranus is symbolic of nuclear bombs. Barack Obama was the first sitting president to visit Hiroshima, Japan. The Taiwan earthquake was 7.4 in magnitude, which hinted at the date 7/4, which symbolizes America. making this earthquake a warning of judgment for America. The demolition of the Uranus building occurred on the same day as the 4.5 magnitude earthquake that shook New York City, where the dirty bombs are predicted to explode. And it was said by people in New York City that the earthquake felt like a bomb had exploded. This 4.8 magnitude earthquake was centered in a town named White House Station in New Jersey, and this 4.8 magnitude earthquake hinted at the future 48th president, Barack Obama. The 44th president will become the president again through the use of the 25th Amendment. This is why on the date 4/4, demolition began on the Uranus building that was leaning at a 25-degree angle after the strongest earthquake in Taiwan in 25 years. God is communicating that after the bombs with nuclear uranium material are detonated in Manhattan, New York City, there will be a large-scale evacuation. The 44th president became the president in 2009. In God's signs, the number 9 is the most important number, as from the Bible it symbolizes God's judgment. The news stories of the Taiwan earthquake focused on the hundreds of people that were trapped in the national park that needed to be evacuated. On the date 4/4, 9 people were rescued and evacuated from a cave system named 9 Turns in the national park. The date 4/4 was 4,444% of a calendar year after the beginning of the 444-day Iran hostage crisis, which began on the date 11/4 in 1979, and the date 11/4 hints at 11 times 4 equals 44, and the Iran hostage crisis led to the attempt to rescue the hostages in what was known as Operation Eagle Claw, which was aborted after only 5 out of 8 helicopters made it to the first stage in the desert of Iran, after which 4 plus 4 U.S. military service personnel were killed and 4 were injured in an aviation disaster in the desert. And this date 4/4, that was 4,444% of a year after the beginning of the 444-day Iran hostage crisis, is also 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 days exactly before the date it is predicted that dirty bombs or a suitcase nuke will be detonated in Manhattan, New York City. So far, I have explained how the big picture of signs, patterns, and connections works, and I have explained how the trail of signs was leading to the date February 24th in regards to the date that Kamala Harris is predicted to die in a plane crash. Her plane crash is predicted to be on December 24th, 4 plus 4 days after it is predicted that dirty bombs will explode in Manhattan. The trail of prophetic signs that are leading to the date it is predicted that Kamala Harris will die in a plane crash led to February 24th. The same is true regarding the prediction that 2 dirty bombs or a suitcase nuke will be detonated in Manhattan, New York City on December 16th, 2024. Like Harris's predicted plane crash, God was also pointing to February 24th ahead of time regarding the prediction that 2 dirty bombs will be detonated in Manhattan. Likewise, the signs on February 24th revealed adding 5 times 8 days to reach the date 4/4, and as was explained, the signs on the date 4/4 in terms of the dirty bomb explosions in New York City revealed adding exactly 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 days, 4 to the power of 4 days, to reach December 16th, the date it is predicted that the dirty bombs will explode and there will be an evacuation in New York City. The signs on February 24th included the largest peacetime evacuation in the United Kingdom in order to enable the safe removal and detonation of a recently discovered 500-pound World War II bomb. Also on February 24th, an explosive was detonated outside the office of the Attorney General of Alabama after the Alabama Supreme Court ruled 8 days before February 24th that embryos are human life. These very important signs are explained in the Alabama Obama video. God developed elaborate trails of signs that led to February 24th in order to communicate extremely important knowledge through the many different stories contained in these trails of prophetic signs. There are about 70 videos related to the predicted dirty bomb in New York City on this channel that predict that these dirty bombs would explode and there would be an evacuation from Manhattan Island on February 3rd. Each of these videos tell a different and very important story that everyone needs to know, and these stories are developed through trails of connected prophetic signs that led to February 3rd, 2024. In other words, God's prophetic signs connected to February 3rd, and then on February 3rd we received the prophetic sign that was expected in advance of February 3rd. The prophetic sign that occurred on February 3rd that was expected in advance of February 3rd was the U.S. airstrikes in Iraq and Syria in response to the drone plane attack on the U.S. Tower 22 base in Jordan. The airstrike mission for the 2 U.S. bombers took 2 times 22 hours and began on the date 2/2, February 2nd. 2 B-1B bombers were used in the airstrikes. The letter B is the second letter in the alphabet. 2 B-1B bombers hint at 2 dirty bombs in the area code 212, which is Manhattan Island. The airstrikes carried out by 2 bomber planes on the date 2/2 that were in a response to the drone attack on the Tower 22 base, revealed adding 22 days from the date 2/2 to reach February 24th, the day of the 2 prophetic bomb signs, and the other signs that revealed adding 5 times 8 days to reach the date 4/4, on which the prophetic signs revealed adding exactly 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 days to reach December 16th, the date it is predicted that 2 dirty bombs will explode in Manhattan, New York City. This important bomb sign and the important stories and knowledge that God is telling that relate to this are explained in the U.S. bombers airstrikes video. For example, the 2 paths of the 2 U.S. bombers that departed from Texas and took 44 hours to complete their mission and return to Texas point to the 2 paths of the 2 eclipses that will cross over each other 44 days after the 2 bomb signs that occurred on February 24th that were previously mentioned, when the second Great American Eclipse will first enter the U.S. through Texas. This second eclipse will be on the date April 8th, 4/8, which hints at the 48th president, who is the 44th president, who will serve a second presidency. What I am saying is that when this prediction comes to pass, you should know that you need to watch every minute of every video on this channel, including all 70 of the videos that tell the different stories from God through different trails of prophetic signs that led to February 2nd and 3rd. The reason I say February 2nd and 3rd is because God was pointing to the 24th day of the month of Shavat in the Hebrew calendar, which began at sunset on February 2nd and went until sunset on February 3rd, and the airstrikes on Iraq and Syria occurred at midnight local time on February 2nd and 3rd. What I am saying is that the 70 videos in which it was predicted that a dirty bomb would explode in New York City on February 2nd and 3rd are 100% correct. What I am saying is do not skip these videos that are predicting February 2nd and 3rd. They must be watched. If you do not watch these videos and learn about the important stories God has been telling, you will have missed entirely the point of this prediction that is from God for 2 dirty bomb explosions and an evacuation in Manhattan, New York City on December 16th. Believe me, I know far better than you why God is giving this prediction, and it is so that you learn the information that is contained in these 70 other videos that predicted February 2nd and 3rd. Prediction: dirty bomb or suitcase nuke will explode in New York City on February 24th, 2024. As we can see, this email was composed on February 5th, 2024. It is predicted that on February 24th, 2024, a bomb consisting of nuclear material will explode in New York City and that there will be an evacuation. Uranium used in nuclear bombs was named after the planet Uranus, which had been discovered 4 + 4 years earlier. The 44th president was born on the date 8/4. The orbital period of Uranus is 84 years. Uranus rotates on its side, and so for 42 years, any location on Uranus will experience 42 years of sunlight followed by 42 years of darkness. In Bible prophecy, the period of the Antichrist is said to be a symbolic 42 months. In Hebrew gematria, the name Obama is equal to 84. In simple English gematria, the name Obama is equal to 32. By the way, if you don't know what gematria is, Roman, Greek, and Hebrew letters are also numbers, and as such, names and words can be converted into a numeric value. Okay, and again, we have this thing going on here. Uranus' orbit is 84 years. The Antichrist was born on the date 8/4. His name in gematria equals 84, but it also equals 32. And on December 2nd, 2023, the coast of the island of Okinawa was evacuated due to an emergency tsunami warning. The name Okinawa hints at Obama, and the U.S. has 32 military bases on Okinawa. In other words, the evacuation on Okinawa was a prophetic sign, which, by the way, was expected in advance of December 2nd. And Okinawa is the location from which the planes, the U.S. planes, departed on their way to Japan to drop the first nuclear bombs. The island of Okinawa was from where the planes that dropped the first and only atomic bombs used in a war. In other words, Okinawa is nuclear bomb symbolism. On December 2nd, 2023, the coast of the island of Okinawa was evacuated due to an emergency tsunami warning. The name Okinawa hints at Obama, and the U.S. has 32 military bases on Okinawa, and Obama's name equals 32. 84 days, okay? So we had 84 years for Uranus, which ties to uranium that's used in nuclear bombs, and it ties to Obama. His name equals 84, and he was born on the date 8/4. All right, 84 days after the Obama-Okinawa sign and the evacuation on December 2nd, 2023, and Okinawa symbolizes nuclear bombs, is the predicted evacuation of Manhattan Island, as in Okinawa Island, due to the predicted dirty bomb, nuclear bomb material explosion with uranium material. Okay, it's so amazing. I hope you got that, all of this. This 84 days is also 2,016 hours, which hints at 216, which equals 6 times 6 times 6, which hints at 666, the number of the Antichrist. Obama was born on the date 84, and his name equals 84, and he is predicted to become the 48th president, for which the number 84 hints at. This 84 days connection is also exactly 2 times 2 times 3 weeks, exactly, and the 48th number is 223, and Obama is predicted to become the 48th president, right? You follow that? So Obama is equal to 84, but 84 days is also 2 times 2 times 3 weeks. In other words, 12 weeks. And that hints at 223, which is the 48th prime number, because Obama will become the 48th president. This 84 days connection from the evacuation on the island with 32 military bases is also 23% of a year. And Obama, whose name equals 32, was the basketball president who wore jersey number 23. Now, regarding December 2nd, which is this paragraph here, okay, this paragraph is all about this connection from December 2nd. I did not even scratch the surface here. This is huge. There's so much to say about December 2nd. All right, God was leading trails of prophetic signs to December 2nd. This date was known months in advance to be the big date. Well, no, sorry, it was known 3 months or so, 2 months. It was known about 2 months ahead of time, all right? Because the previous date in the Trail of Signs before that was September 26th, all right? So anyway, the video that explains everything regarding December 2nd is the Okinawa Obama video. I'm promoting it because you need to watch that video. Now, in that video also was the Obama-related signs regarding the first and therefore symbolic Nazi concentration camp, because Obama will be leading the genocide in America of MAGA Republicans, true conservatives, and true Christians. All right, that is what's coming, and that was also what was hinted at in the signs, you'll see. And it was also a plane sign. There were the frozen plains in Munich due to the record 44 inches, as in the 44th president, of snow right near. This was the big European story of the day because of the flights that were backed up and canceled because of the snowstorm, which was mostly in Munich, right near the Dachau concentration camp. Okay? Anyway. You'll see in the video. It's amazing. There's lots to that, and it's very important. A few more interesting things to add here. Okinawa hints at Obama. Does ENOLA gay hint at Obama gay, homosexual? Because if you don't know, Obama is a homosexual. I'm sorry, that's, the evidence for that is overwhelming. It's just the mainstream media brainwashes the people that follow it into thinking that that sort of thing is a wild conspiracy theory, but it isn't. There's so much evidence. I mean, anyway, I'm not even going to get into it. Okay, so enough. Enola Gay is 480 in English gematria, which hints at 48 and the 48th president. And December 2nd, 2023 is 84 days to the predicted bomb in New York, right? So that could be a hint, because again, this December 2nd date, as I alluded to, which is explained further in the Obama Okinawa video on this channel that must be watched, okay, it's about Okinawa, and of course the Enola Gay is known for its departure flight from Okinawa. I mean, Okinawa is known for being the launch pad for the first and only atomic bombs being used in an act of war, right? All right. Now, the second plane that dropped the bomb on Nagasaki was named Boxcar. This is an anagram for Barack. That's clear. If you switch the letters around, you get Barack. Boxcar. So Boxcar Enola would seem to equal Barack Obama, right? Enola hints at Obama. The question is whether the gay, so an Obama was gay, right? Or he is gay, right? So Enola Gay, Barack Obama, Boxcar is Barack. All right. The names of the two bombs that were dropped refer to men. Two men. The names were Little Boy and Fat Man. The two atomic bombs that were dropped were given names, and the names are, or were, Little Bomb and Fat Man. This hints at the two Antichrist men. In Bible prophecy, there are two Antichrists described, right? And both of these two Antichrists delivered prophetic speeches from Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. All right? By the way, the Pope visited the UNESCO World Heritage Site and the monument to the what are called the hidden Christians, because of the Christians in that part of Japan that were in hiding because of persecution after they had converted, after the Portuguese had been there. All right. So, and Francis visited the Hidden Christians Monument 666 days after UNESCO declared the Hidden Christian sites to be World Heritage Sites. Amazing. Now, so both of these two antichrists were in Japan delivering nuclear weapons speeches. There's a very good reason for that. Israel is about to drop a nuclear bomb on Damascus, Syria. It's predicted to be on March 14th. And because of this, the world will gang up on Israel, and also demons pretending to be aliens, because that's what aliens are, will claim to be here to help us with our nuclear weapons. And the rise of power of the antichrists will be through this alien deception. It is predicted that on April 12th, the Pope will announce that the aliens have made him the ambassador for the world. Instantly giving him complete power over the world. Now, Francis is the fat man in this hidden sign from God, these two bombs that were named after men, hinting at the two men that delivered these prophetic speeches from Japan. Okay, so Francis is a fat man. He's a very fat man. So he is being alluded to with the fat man bomb, and Obama is a slight, short, skinny man, a little boy, and that's what's alluded to with the little boy bomb, as in Obama. That's not a coincidence, by the way. Obama is because of the role that bombs will be playing in the rise of him as the Antichrist, including the predicted bomb in New York City that this video is predicting. Enola Gay's serial number begins with 44. The serial number is 44-86292. The rest of the number sums to 9 plus 9 plus 9. And the number 9 is the most important number in God's big picture of signs, which is only being explained on this channel. As from the Bible, it symbolizes God's judgment, and God frequently repeats a number 3 times for emphasis of its symbolic meaning. So, judgment from the 44th by the 44th Antichrist, or through the 44th president, I should say. All right. God uses firsts for his signs. Obama spoke in Hiroshima, the first sitting president to do so, on May 27th, 2016. This is exactly 407 weeks before it is predicted that Israel will nuke Damascus on March 14th, 2024. 407 hints at 40 and 7, numbers from the account of Noah's flood in the Bible. Right? A 7-day period followed by a 40 days period is the mention in the account of the flood. The war with Japan began at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, the Rainbow State, which equals Noah's flood, where Obama is from, by the way. The war ended when the Enola Gay and Boxcar dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The NTSB opened their report to the public regarding the Paradise Tours helicopter crash in Hawaii on October 31st, 2022, which was exactly 36 months after the historic barge moved for the first time at the edge of Niagara Falls, where the perennial rainbow is engendered due to a storm, as in Noah's flood symbolism, as is the falls itself, and so is the barge. The barge is actually symbolic of the ark that rescued Noah and his family, and the barge on the falls, on the river, that's stuck on the river, was involved in the most dramatic rescue in the history of Niagara Falls. All right, so so we're talking about this helicopter crash, okay, in Hawaii. There's lots more to this. I haven't even explained anything yet regarding this helicopter crash, or even for that matter, the importance of helicopters in God's signs. Okay, but the NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board, opened their report to the public regarding the Paradise Tours helicopter crash in Hawaii on October 31st, 2022, exactly 36 months, which hints at 666. Okay, by the way, it hints at 3 6s and 6 times 6 and 2 times 18, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6. And the 36th triangular number, which in a triangle of numbers, the last number in the 36th row is 666. And 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 all the way up to 36 equals 666. Okay, so this was exactly 36 months after the historic barge moved for the first time at the edge of Niagara Falls due to storm, which caused record flooding in New York. Okay, flooding being Noah's flood symbolism. All right. And that, in turn, was 44 days after the 4th wettest storm in the 4 times 7th state's history, Texas, that dumped 4 feet of water over 4 days on the 4th biggest city in the U.S. The reason why I just hinted at the 28th state as being 4 times 7 is because this helicopter that the NTSB is talking about is a Bell 407 model of helicopter, all right? That's the reason for getting into all of this. And again, we are originally talking about this 407 weeks connection, all right? But I'm going to tie it all together. Just be patient here. Okay, so 2 times 3 people were in the helicopter, and all were injured. This report was released exactly 23 years after Egypt Air Flight 990, 990 is the 44th triangular number, went down on the 31st of the month in 1999. All right? In 99, Flight 990, all right? Now, the story of the crash of Egyptair 990 was about its controversial report. Hence the connection to the report that's controversial because of what I'm about to explain, of the helicopter crash in Hawaii. But if you know the history of Egyptair 990, it was extremely controversial because the Egyptian government didn't want it to be known that the pilot was yelling out Islamic things as he was flying the plane into the ocean. They wanted it to be a malfunction or whatever, right? So there's a huge story to that, and it went on for many months. It was like one of the stories of the year, but it centered around the controversial report regarding this. All right, so it's about a report, and that's why 23 years we have the report of the helicopter crash. All right. Now, Egyptair 990, as in the 44th triangular number, in a triangle of numbers, the last number in the 44th row is 990, crashed on the 31st of the month, 4 plus 4 days after Harrison Ford crashed his helicopter in the 31st state. The reason for the 31st state and the 31st of the month is because the first verse in Isaiah chapter 31 is woe to those who go down to Egypt, which is what Barack Obama did right after he became the president. He went down to Cairo, Egypt, to deliver his famous Cairo, Egypt speech, in which he said, in order to tell the Muslim world that America is no longer a Christian nation. Anyway, so that's why Egyptair, on the 31st of the month, 4 plus 4 days after Harrison Ford crashed his helicopter in the 31st state. Now, the NTSB report on the 31st of the month in 2022 regarded an issue with the tail of the Bell 407 model helicopter. Now, the reason why God has been using helicopters in his signs is that helicopters in his signs symbolize dragons because of their tails and their rotor blades. But also their rotor blades are X's. And he is also using the helicopter signs for symbolism for the mark of the Antichrist, which is symbolized by an X. Okay, so the report, then an emergency report regarding these Bell 407 helicopters was issued soon after, on the day of the release of the trailer officially for the new Harrison Ford Indiana Jones movie. Hence the connection to Harrison Ford's crashing of his helicopter. The theme song to Indiana Jones movies, including in the trailer, is a trumpet song. Okay, and trumpets in the Bible are alerts, as in the book of Joshua, as in the trumpets that were blown before the walls of security collapsed in God's judgment. Okay? The report of the emergency alert for the Bell 407 helicopters was a trumpet, and it was released, and that alert came out on the same day of the release of the Indiana Jones trailer, which trumpeted the trumpet song that Indiana Jones is known for. All right. The report on the Bell 407 crash in the 50th state is exactly 500 days to the date it is predicted that Israel will nuke Damascus. By the way, Damascus itself is symbolized by 44. All right? It's the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world, and in the Bible, Damascus symbolizes the world. And the number 4 symbolizes the world and created things, which is why the 44th president is the Antichrist, by the way. But also, the 500th word in the Strong's Concordance is Antichrist, which is the significance of the 500 days connection from the 50th state. Okay, so therefore, Flight 990, the 44th triangular number, connects with 23 years, because God pairs 44 and 23 and 9 to confirm his signs and connections. The Antichrist 44th president became the president in 2009, and he was the basketball president who wore jersey number 23 in Hawaii. Okay, so therefore, the Flight 990 connects with 23 years to the 2 times 3 injured in the Bell 407 in the 50th state, which connects with 500 days to the Damascus nuking. And this is a pairing of 23 and 44 and 9, which confirms the signs and connections. The reason this Bell 407 prophetic sign is relevant to the 407 weeks connection between Obama in Hiroshima and the date it is predicted that the nuke will explode on Damascus is that the Bell 407 crashed in Hawaii in the Pacific, and the war with Japan for supremacy in the Pacific began in Hawaii and ended with a nuclear bomb. In other words, the Bell 407 sign and 500 days connection is a second witness to the 407 weeks connection between Obama in Hiroshima and the predicted nuclear bomb. The next use after the nuclear bomb was used in Hiroshima, predicted to be used on Damascus on March 14th, 2024. I hope I explained that clearly enough. We got the 2 connections. One involves 407 weeks, and the other involves the Bell 407 helicopter. Both connect to March 14th, the date it is predicted that the nuclear bomb will explode on Damascus, dropped by Israel, which will lead to the Antichrist persecuting Jews in Jerusalem. This is where it's all headed. Believe me, I know far better than you how the prediction made in this video was derived. And more importantly, I know far better than you why the righteous Christian God of the Bible has given me a voice through this prediction. If you are a quote-unquote Christian or Muslim, this prediction was not learned through a demon. Be warned that blaspheming the Holy Spirit is the unforgivable sin. If you are a New Ager or New Spirituality person, this prediction was not learned through somehow tapping into the supposed universal collective consciousness. If you are a conspiracy theorist, this prediction was not learned through figuring out a supposed code that the Illuminati and Satanists are using. This prediction was learned through the Bible and through watching carefully the Lord's prophetic signs, which Jesus commanded all Christians to do. Besides proving that Jesus Christ is the Lord, the reason why God has given me a voice through this prediction is to prove that the controversial things that I am saying in the videos on this channel are the truth. Therefore, a wise person will want to watch all of the videos on this channel. What I will also do is create a video or 2 that summarizes some of the controversial things that the Lord will prove to be true when the prediction being made in this video comes to pass. I will leave links to these must-watch videos in the description box below this video. Again, the purpose of this prediction, that is from God, is to prove these things that I will talk about. And therefore, it would be foolish to not watch the videos that I will leave links for in the description box below this video. Aliens and UFOs are demons masquerading as aliens and UFOs. Most people's spiritual experiences are demonic deception, especially if they are not a true follower of Christ. In the last days, many people who claim to be a follower of Christ will have spiritual experiences that are in reality demonic. God became a man and died a horrible death at the hand of the ruler of this world, Satan, and then defeated death for you, so that you too can overcome death, which is the price that must be paid for sin. It is time to repent, which means to change one's ways and turn to God and become a disciple of Jesus. Please leave a like and upvote the video. And once this prediction has come to pass, share this video with everyone you know, and more, don't stop sharing it everywhere in social media. It is essential that everyone immediately read the homepage of my website, TrumpPrediction.com. If you are watching this on the YouTube platform, please note that not all of the videos are on YouTube. You need to switch to the Odyssey.com or Rumble.com channel, and do it now in case you aren't able to later.